Hey guys, Ash here from Really Fit. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how we feed Rowynne. So what does Rowynne eat on a daily basis? How did she eat at the beginning? How did it start? How did we transition to food? And then how does she eat now? I actually get this question a lot. So I have quite a few people privately message me about what Rowynne eats. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a Facebook Live on it. So let's rewind to when she was first born. Rowynne was exclusively breastfed right from the beginning. She was colic, and breastfeeding for me was my saving grace. So I was really lucky because it did help to calm her down. However, the unfortunate part is that she wouldn't take a bottle, she wouldn't take a soother, and she wouldn't take anything, like no formula, no anything. She balked at everything. To the point that we actually went and we saw a specialist about it, and they were like, you know what, you have to keep on trying or she's gonna balk all food, including your breast. So we kind of backed off that because I just really wanted a break. She was like cluster feeding all the time, but obviously that's over and done with, but that's how we started. So she wouldn't take a bottle, she wouldn't take a soother, she wouldn't take any sort of formula, so she breastfed, and she breastfed exclusively to almost about 6 months. And then we started introducing some soft foods. So the first food that we actually introduced to Rowynne was avocado and green juice. So many of you guys know that I'm like a huge advocate of Kimberly Snyder's green juice. So that is what she would have, which is amazing. The avocado is amazing for their brain development, and the fiber is also really good for obviously their digestion, and it's really safe to eat. So we would make sure it was really soft so she could kind of gum at it. And then she would have the green juice, which had all of the greens obviously in it, like the spinach, the romaine, the cucumber, and then some fruit. And then that was really good for fiber as well, but really high in iron, really high in calcium, and all of these other good vitamins and nutrients. So that's what we started her on just before she was 6 months old. And then we started kind of, noticing that she was enjoying those things. So we started also including some smoothies, and we still do that to this day. So she was basically just having liquids for a while, and then just after she was 6 months, I believe that's around the when, if I'm remembering the timeline properly, we started doing some baby-led weaning. So we did a mixture of that and then puree. So we'd either buy puree or we'd make our own puree of vegetables, of fruit, of anything that basically you could throw in the blender. And when we give her that, or I would give her like a massive piece of carrot. She didn't have any teeth yet, and then she could gum away at that, and that was kind of like her way to have some fun, play with food, learn about food, about texture, see what she's eating rather than just seeing smush all the time. She didn't have a gag reflex, which I know a lot of babies do, so we were really lucky. The baby-led weaning was pretty good for us and Rowynne, so that's what we did. And then, as time went on, we started introducing more food, and then here we are today with how she eats. So, although Rowynne just got molars recently, she's actually been eating all of these foods for the last several months. So she was able to gum through a lot of things. And I almost need to turn this light off behind me. One sec. There we go. It's kind of distracting. So I wanted to go over what she ate for the last 2 days to give you guys an idea, and then I will also kind of include, that's not on there, what we have on a regular basis. So yesterday to start, she had a smoothie. I had a banana, a mango, blueberries, avocado, hemp hearts, chia seeds, gelatin, and almond milk. And for those of you that, before you ask me, if you haven't heard me say it before, gelatin is safe for babies. I called the company, and they're actually looking at making baby products right now. You just don't want to give them too much of it because it's a lot of protein. It can be really hard on their system. So we just add enough in for like a whole smoothie for the family. And then at the end of the day, she's probably only getting about like 5 grams of protein, like in and around that, with all these things combined. So that's how she starts her day, and that's how she starts a lot of days, with a big smoothie that's just like a punch full of nutrients and vitamins and like lots of healthy stuff. So that's what she had in the morning, and she has it in this. So I got this from Bye Bye Baby, and it's 300 milliliters, and she usually has almost two of these in the morning, sometimes 2, sometimes less. It just depends on her morning. So today she had like 1.5, and then she ended up finishing the rest later. So that's how she started her morning. And then later in the morning, she had a snack of a Larabar, Now, yes, Lara bars do have nuts in them. And oh yeah, that's another thing we gave her at 6 months was peanut butter. So we did give her some peanut butter. We did that test and she was good, so awesome. So yeah, Lara bars do have nuts in them, so you might obviously want to be careful with this. This is something at the beginning, when she was a lot younger, I would actually take the Lara bar and I would kind of like mold it with my own fingers, just smush it up, make sure there's no really hard pieces in it, and then I would give it to her as like a mini ball, and then I knew it was easy for her to chew and she wasn't going to choke or anything like that. Now I can just give her the whole Lara bar because she has molars and she's able to chew nuts. But that being said, I wouldn't actually give her like a handful of nuts because these nuts are quite soft because they've been sitting in the dates for a long time. Hey, Sabrina. So yeah, we do give her the Lara bars, which yes, do have nuts in it, but they are a lot softer. So no, we don't give her like actual, like, here you go, have a couple almonds, Rowynne. She's not there yet. She doesn't have enough teeth, but this one's pretty soft, so she's able to have it, but she's been having this for a really long time, so we just kind of smushed it up before. So yeah, she had Lara bar and then almond milk for her snack. Then at lunch, she had lentils, and then she had half a fruit pack, which is like these fruit packs. Here it is right here. So she had one of these. So these are kind of like our quick go-to sometimes. I know you can't really see it right now with the light. Maybe you have to turn this down a little bit. Yeah, so she had one of these, and we don't like to give this to her first because I would rather she have the green juice, the smoothies, the cheese head pudding, all that kind of stuff I'll get into. But this is kind of nice as like a filler if I'm going out or if she's having a snack and she needs a little bit of extra like liquid. So that's what she had. That was actually part of her lunch. So lentils, half a fruit pack, half a waffle. We get the Nature's Path gluten-free waffle, so she had half a waffle of that, 3/4 of a banana, several spoonfuls of chia seed pudding. So the chia seed pudding has chia seeds, almond milk, and a tiny little bit of maple syrup. She will have it without, but often when I make it in bulk for Matt and I as well, so she does get a little bit of the one that we have, which has a little bit of the maple syrup in it. So that's what she had for lunch. Then as a snack, she had half a homemade muffin. So this is a muffin that we often make on Really Fit Online that has like it's a blender muffin. So it's the one that has the bananas, the oats, and then the almond butter, and then obviously like the baking type things like the baking soda, the baking powder, and then we put blueberries on top. So she had that, and it has a couple eggs and stuff. So she had that as her snack, and then as dinner, she had one whole avocado to herself. She can take down avocados like crazy. She had cucumber, almond milk, and Power O's. So I know this is backwards, but Power O's right here, these are my go-to for Rowynne instead of Cheerios because the only ingredients in this is a bean blend. So it's navy beans, lentils, garbanzo beans, so just chickpeas, brown rice, salt, and then a word I can't pronounce that's good for freshness. So this is what we give her instead of Cheerios, because it's wheat-free and that's the way we eat, so that's the way that Rowynne eats, and it's higher, like it actually has a little bit of protein and stuff in it, 6 grams of protein for 1 cup, and it's tasty and she likes it. So this is what she has. Love Grown has the yummiest granola too. Ooh, I'll have to try that. So yeah, so then she snacked on that as well. So, and then today she had the same smoothie as she had yesterday. Matt and I had a smoothie today with matcha tea in it, which has caffeine, so we didn't give that to her. We gave her the same one as yesterday. Then as a snack, when she was at daycare, she had grapes, half a banana, some of those Power O's, and veggie sticks. So unfortunately I don't have the veggie sticks, but you know those veggie sticks, you can get them a lot at the grocery store in the health food section or even Costco, and they literally, they just look like sticks, and they're like yellow, orange, and green. I think those are the 3 colors, and she really likes them, and it's kind of like a nice fun thing for her to have as like a dessert or a snack when she's at daycare, especially because a lot of the kids there have fishies, and I don't really want Rowynne having milk products, and they have milk product in it, so and gluten. So yeah, so I give her that instead, and I let her share it with the other kids so that she feels included and everything. So that's what she had as a snack today when she was there at daycare. Then we bring her home for lunch. She had homemade butternut squash soup, which had like butternut squash, garlic, celery, all that kind of stuff in it. Then she had rice crackers with hummus and half a Lara bar and almond milk. For another snack after lunch, after she woke up from her nap, she had that leftover smoothie, the little like half that she didn't finish this morning. And then she had half a homemade muffin again, just a couple spoonfuls of chia seed pudding. I know it sounds like she eats a lot, and she does. And then we walked to the grocery store, and she took down 2 of those packs when I was at the grocery store. So those little fruit packs I just showed you. So yeah, I didn't even think she was still gonna be hungry, but as soon as she saw them, she's like, and she wanted them, and then she took down 1, like obviously she was still hungry, and then she took down another one. So this kid has an incredible amount of energy and could basically eat all day long. And then for dinner, she had snap peas, sweet potato, and then I tried to give her salmon. She's very hit and miss with salmon. I don't know what the secret is. I thought it was she didn't like leftover salmon, but today it was like hot from the oven, so I don't know what it was, but she wouldn't eat it. So instead, for a little bit of protein and fat, I really like to focus on fat for her because it's amazing for their brain. I gave her a couple spoonfuls of almond butter, but for her being a really small spoonful, it's not that much. So I would say in total, she like maybe had a tablespoon by the time like she like got it off this. Half of it ended up in other places. But so yeah, that's what she ate for the last 2 days to give you an idea. So I'll go into some other things that she regularly eats, but one thing I wanted to show you as well, if you can't find these or you don't want this, some kids don't like to suck, right? So we're really lucky, and like she'll have this all day long with her water, with anything. She also really likes sippy cups. But for those that don't, you don't really have to suck this. So Matt and I got this off of Amazon, as you can see. It's called Nature's Little Squeeze. And you can fill up the bottom with your own fruit pack. So like we try to only give these to her when we're like out and about or in a rush. And we try to give her our own smoothies whenever we can, and green juice. So this one, you just kind of open up at the bottom, and then you put in obviously her food, and then you can even put in vegetable puree. So you can put that in as well, and then you seal it up, and then you can throw it in the fridge or give it to them. The only thing I don't like about these is that they don't stand up. So unlike this, you can put it down on the counter and it stands up. This doesn't. And there's probably some that do, but that's not the one that we have. So they are super convenient, but they don't stand up. So if she is like walking around with it and having it, and she puts it down, then it goes everywhere. Where unlike this, she knows to stand it up now. She didn't always, and so it doesn't go all over the house. So yeah. So as you can probably tell by the meal plan I just read you for the last couple days, she has a lot of high-fat foods. So the things that we focus on are a lot of avocados, a lot of chia seeds, hemp hearts. She has the gelatin that's super high in fat. She has the almond butter. She has the Lara bars. We try to give her things that are like super high in calories and then super high in healthy fat. Another regular thing that we do give her is spread grain toast. So that is basically the only gluten that she'll have unless she goes to her grandparents or like a friend or something. So we're not afraid of her to have it. We just don't want her having it on a regular basis. But here, what she does have regularly is the spread grain bread like we do. And I often put coconut oil on top of it and then hummus. So that's another thing that she has a lot, and they're really high fat, really healthy for you. Yes, coconut oil has saturated fat in it, but it's also extremely good for you, and it helps with the bowels. So those are things that she has regularly, and sometimes she'll even just have hummus by the spoonful. So another thing that she has regularly is this. I showed you guys on our staples once, is this Daiya cheese. It's mac and cheese, so it's like a vegan mac and cheese, and I love it because it literally takes 6 minutes to make. So I can get her home from daycare. Like, I pick her up at 12 and she needs to be in bed usually before 1 or she starts getting super fussy. So I need to have like a really quick lunch on hand, and I can make this super quick and she can eat it. And it's already cool and everything, and then she's done and she can be in bed by like 10 to 1. So that, and then another thing that you guys saw, as our regular, that Rowynne also has, are these. So it's the gluten-free wrap. She can eat a whole thing of this. Like, it is delicious. And it has potatoes, peas, tofu, and then obviously Indian spices and stuff in it. And she loves these. And yes, they're cooked in the microwave, but once again, sometimes you just need quick stuff, and it's only 1 minute per side, which is amazing. And it's filling for her. And then something that my girlfriend just introduced to us recently that we've given her and she really likes is these Ian's gluten-free fish sticks. I'm not going to tell you they're cheap because they're not. They're expensive, but it's a nice way for her to like have some meat, have some fish. I know that's not like salmon, and she's not like picky at certain times with fish. She'll eat it whenever we cook it. And they're actually pretty good cold. So even if she doesn't eat everything that we gave her, she'll have them cold, which is amazing. So what else? We do give, this is the only animal product that we often have around the house that we give Rowynne. And this is another high-fat thing, and it's the goat's cheese. So we give this to her a lot. She loves it, and I just like kind of chunk it up, and like say if she's having soup or she's having, I don't know, like an apple or like something like that, I will just give her a little bit of like the protein and the fat on the side. So she likes that. And then for supplements, I'm trying to think if there's any other food on a regular basis. Normally she eats what we eat, but those are the kind of things that I try to focus on with her because they're super important. Like I said, for her brain development, but also her energy, because she's just like, as most children are, just extending energy all the time. And you need to keep up with that, or with their calories, or they're going to be fussy. And that way, if she has lots of high fat stuff, we know we're doing it. And then within all that high fat, she has like the protein and carbs. So for supplements, sorry, I probably should have had these out. Oops, that's not it. Okay, so for supplements, we give her vitamin D. So a lot of people ask me, there you go, they're like, oh, well, you don't have dairy, so what do you do for Rowynne? No, we don't give Rowynne dairy. As I told you, she wouldn't even take formula, although we didn't try to give her dairy formula. We tried to give her an alternative. So the most important thing, if you don't give your child any sort of animal milk or formula, is vitamin D. So it's super important for breastfeeding moms or after that, if they're not having milk. The one thing that they can't get from milk is that they can't get from your milk and like almond milk and stuff like that, is vitamin D. So I make sure I give this to her every day. It either goes in her shakes. Sometimes I'm worried she's not going to get it, so I often just put it in my finger and then shove it in her mouth. And then the other thing is a probiotic. So this one's BioGaia, and this is amazing. We actually were recommended this when she was colic at the beginning for her tummy issues, and we just find that it really helps with her pooing. So all this stuff that we talk about Rowynne eating, she actually typically takes 4 to 6 solid poos a day. Lately, when she started going to daycare, we noticed that it kind of slowed down a bit, and we think it's because she was having gluten and she's not used to it. But we don't want her getting used to that. So we have asked them to take her back off of it, and then we started giving her BioGaia, like constantly. And then, yeah, she's pooing quite regularly now again, which is awesome. And then another supplement that we give her is the Omega. So if I do give this to her, I try to put it in her shakes. Because she won't, I try to put it in her almond milk and stuff, and she won't take it. She tastes it, and she thinks it's disgusting. So yeah, that's what we give her. So the one thing, I probably should have started this, is that I'm no expert when it comes to how to feed a baby, but I thought I would tell you guys how I feed Rowynne, how Matt and I feed Rowynne, because I have so many questions about it, but I'm not an expert. But I will tell you this: if you don't want to give your child any sort of formula or cow's milk and stuff, almond milk does not have enough calories in it. So the biggest thing, and it doesn't have the vitamin D. So that's why it's so crazy important for me. If you're like, oh my God, how does she eat that much food? It's because she's not filling up on formula. So she has to have all these high fat things to keep up with that caloric need. So you have to be very careful. If that's what you choose to do, you should talk to your doctor. And then if that is a road that you want to go down, it is essential that you give them all the calories they need, because they're not having the formula, and this is how they grow, right? So yes, Rowynne has almond milk. She doesn't have cow's milk, but like, we are crazy about giving her chia seed pudding, which has tons of calories, all the calcium in it, and then the green juice, that has tons of calories, but has lots of calcium and everything for her, and obviously all the high fat things that I just talked about. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Let me go over. I can see there's a bunch of questions here. Let me turn this down again. I don't know why it's so bloody bright. It's probably because the light's changing in here. Where do you get those? Oh, Sabrina, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Veggie straws, yes, they're amazing. Oh, where did you buy the Power-O's? I got those at the Superstore in the organic section. Oh my God, Heather, small world. I don't know who you're talking about, but how's it going? Brittany, once she started eating solids at 6 months, did she stay on breast milk or did you switch to non-dairy formula? No, she did stay on breast milk. So she breastfed exclusively for just under 6 months. And when we started introducing the soft foods, and then I breastfed her until a year. So at 9 months, I went down to once a day or twice a day. And then I did that until she was a year. And then that's when I stopped breastfeeding. So, and then when I stopped doing it all the time at 9 months, that's when I tried with the formula and stuff, and it wouldn't take. Now, when we went and saw the breastfeeding specialist, we hadn't even tried her on formula. They just told us to stop with the bottle with my own breast milk because it was really upsetting Rowynne, and food time was becoming a stress to her and us. And so that's why they recommended we don't try. Where do you get the probiotic? Shoppers Drug Mart. Just Shoppers Drug Mart. We give Caitlin the probiotic too. Thank you. I've been looking for new things to give Caitlin other than the usual stuff, and I don't want her to have, I don't know, I'll have to look at that after. I have to figure out how to do this. Would you give her goat milk? Sorry, just jumped on here. I actually did try. She didn't like it. I tried, I think 4 or 5 times. And we wasted 2 different goat milks thing. I'm not against goat milk, but I thought I would try it for the calorie wise. But she didn't like it, so that's it. I'm not gonna force her to like it. So we just stuck with the almond milk and we stopped trying with that. But she does like the goat's cheese, so that's where we have that little bit of flexibility. And like Rowynne has had dairy products, like she has had like the fishies that have cheese in them, and then she's had. I don't know, can you think of anything else, Matt?
Sorry?
Can you think of anything else Rowynne's had that's had dairy in it? Like she's had some gluten. She's had like when she goes to my parents' place, sometimes she'll have like those like saltine crackers. Like she does have stuff like that. We just don't want her having it all the time, just like us. So you know that we have these things sometimes, but we don't recommend having it all the time. So she's us. Like she is going to live like us. And so it's important. And we do see a change in her digestion. Like she shouldn't just be pooping once a day and it be small like this. So once I started seeing that happening at daycare, it was like incredibly important to me that I'm like, okay, like no, as easygoing and as cool as I want to be, this is my daughter's health. And I saw that her digestion was changing. And to me, that was a sign that, whoa, we got to step back at this again. And I don't want her getting used to the dairy and the gluten, but I'm okay with a little bit of goat stuff. BioGaia is cheaper at Costco. Oh, good to know. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know, Sabrina. Let me just enjoy a little sip here of this decaffeinated espresso.
It's cheaper where?
At Costco.
BioGaia?
Yeah.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah. Anything else that you guys get at Costco for babies? We don't get any fruit packs or anything there, do we? No. Yeah, they don't have them. But yeah, so that's basically where we are, and I think that we are just going to continue eating as we are. Like she does obviously have meat and stuff like that. We don't eat a lot, maybe just like a couple times a week. Like we had salmon tonight. We'll have chicken this week. She has tofu. She has stuff like that. So she just eats like we eat. What brand of the vitamin D? It probably doesn't really matter, but this one's called Delicious D. So that's what she has. And when it came to probiotics, I actually had, it was recommended, a different brand was recommended to me, and I can't remember the name of it right now. And Rowynne was actually really sensitive to dairy at the beginning. Like even if I consumed it and I fed her, she would projectile puke. And we got this probiotic that was a powder that's supposed to be really high quality. So if you're not concerned about milk, there is another one out there that comes in powder form. And you just, like, you can put it on your finger or on your nipple if you're still breastfeeding, and you can give it to them that way. It's supposed to be an incredible strain of probiotic, but yeah, it had dairy in it, and Rowynne, like, her body did not like it. Is it just for babies or toddlers? Rowynne's a toddler now, so I believe it's for toddlers. Let me see if it has an age. Infants and children's up to 2 years old. So the vitamin D up to 2 years old. And then, adults and children can have BioGaia. There you go. So we can have this too, even though it's for baby colic relief. That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, any other questions? You're most welcome, Kristen. Thanks for watching. I hope you're feeling better, by the way. I saw today when I drove by your school that it was picture day, so that must have been really fun coming off of a flu. Any other questions? You guys message me frequently to ask questions about what's Rowynne eating in that video, or what is she drinking from, or whatever. So I know that there's stuff going on up there. So please let me know if you have any more questions. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to touch on. Not that I can think of. No? Well, what time is it? It's 8:30. So we're just about done now. Well, thank you very much for popping on here, guys, and listening. I hope it was informative, but like I said, I'm no expert, so I'm just telling you how we feed Rowynne. And what's this? Is it possible to eat too much avocado? Well, there's different opinions on that. I'm sure for people that are trying to lose weight, yes, or people that have extremely loose bowels, possibly. But like avocados are so high in fiber and healthy fat, it's almost impossible to overeat them, right? Like you get so full. Like I don't know how you could overeat avocado. So I don't know if that's like a roundabout answer, but we do try to give it to Rowynne every day. And she doesn't always eat a whole one. Sometimes she just wants a quarter, sometimes she just wants a half. It depends on her appetite, how much she's digging it at that point. But we do try to give her an avocado every day. We try to give her that, blueberries. Oh, flax seeds, another thing we give her, like all like the healthy fat type things. Do you ever give her cereal like quinoa? Yeah, actually sometimes we give her oatmeal. We give her like Nature's Path, just like instant oatmeal, and then I mix a little bit of almond butter in it, or hemp hearts and stuff, and then she has that. And our girls devour them. Oh, good. That's amazing, Sabrina. That's really good. It's so good for them. So yeah, you could have too much avocado if it's like a weight concern. You don't want to like, because they do have a lot of calories in them. So, but for babies, I don't think so. I mean, their stomachs are so little that like they're only going to eat so much, and they're going to be like, okay, like I'm done now. Like I'm so full. Any recipes that I could hide an avocado in? Yeah, the smoothie. Like we actually had it in her smoothie yesterday. So that was actually from an avocado that she didn't finish, and half an avocado, and then so we put it in her smoothie. So, and you can't taste it at all. It actually just adds a nice little bit of thickness. And then what else could you probably hide it in? You could probably hide it in avocado pudding. So you can make you can blend avocado with some cacao, which is really high in antioxidants. Especially if it's not sweetened, you want unsweetened. You can sweeten it with your own maple syrup if you want. And that way you can make it not too sweet. Their taste buds are super sensitive. They don't need really salty, really sweet stuff, especially at the beginning. But that's a good way to hide it because they think it's a dessert. So it's chocolate avocado pudding. You could look it up, and there's tons of recipes. But yeah, we blend it with avocado, almond milk, cacao, and a little bit of maple syrup, and a little bit of vanilla extract. Aussie Bites at Costco are one of our faves. I don't even know what those are. I'm curious. Are they like a Larabar type thing, or are they like a bite that's almost like one of those soft crackers that they bite into?
Like a granola bar, but in a cupcake format, little tiny little 1-bite, 2-bite brownie size.
Oh, neat. Matt just told me what they were. Oh, so they're like little brownie, they're like almost like bite-sized brownie type things, he said. Little Aussie Bites. Interesting. I've never even heard of them. Yeah, you're most welcome, Amanda. My pleasure. So yeah, I'm so happy that you guys popped on here and hung out with me. And as always, I'll pop on here for the next little bit and answer any questions. They look like little mini muffins, but dates and nut seeds. Ooh, you're talking my language there. Gluten-free. Awesome. Oh, that sounds really nice. A cool way for her to get some seeds and stuff too. So yeah, if I think of any other things you could fit avocado into that they wouldn't notice, I will let you know. Oh, another great thing to give babies, by the way, or not necessarily like babies, but like as they start eating, is eggs. Eggs is, especially the yellow part, is really good for brain development as well. However, Rowynne got like violently ill and we had to take her to the hospital. So we've been afraid to give her an egg again, but we can actually cook it with things and she's fine, but she can't for whatever reason. And we haven't tried recently actually. But she can't have hard-boiled eggs or scrambled eggs. Like she can't have like an actual egg, but she can have it cooked in things. But yeah, that's actually an incredible snack or meal to give kids as well as eggs. And it's super fast, which is amazing. Delicious with coffee. Ooh, I bet. He's so good with coffee. So anyways, thanks for popping on here, guys, and I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I'll pop on here for the next 24 hours and make sure I answer them. Okay? I'll see you guys later. Take care. Cheers.